Hello, I'm here today to talk to you about FERPA, the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act. FERPA is a federal law that was enacted to protect our students and their rights to privacy and to keep their records confidential. And the law applies to all schools who receive any funding from the U.S. Department of Education. This includes our school, so it's important to listen up because you will need to know this information. So the guidelines for the students, this is guidelines for that pertain to students who are under the age of 18. Parents can request to see the school files of their children, and this includes anything that we have kept, including report cards, records pertaining to times that the student was disciplined, and records kept by the counselor. Just anything that that we have kept in the files about the student. The parents will have to come into the school and view the records there only in situations such as if the family has moved away and to visit the school is very inconvenient, will the school be requested to copy the files and send them to the parents, and even then copying fees will be can be included. And so if the parents do look at the records and they see anything in there that they don't like, or not that they don't like, that they don't agree with, if the version that their child told them was much different than what was in the record, and they believe their child for whatever reason, even if it's they have proof, if the teacher was unfair, or just anything that they may disagree with, they can ask the school to change that information. And now the school would have to have a formal hearing, and in this formal hearing they would decide whether or not they're going to amend the record. And now if the record does not get amended by the result of this formal hearing, then the parent has the right to add to the record and give their viewpoint on about what was being reported in the school record. So anybody in the future who will view that record will know that the parents did not agree with it and would be able to have a fuller picture about what the situation was like. And another part about this is written permission. And one thing I think all of us have gone through the process of getting official transcripts. You can see my official transcripts up in the upper right corner. And it is still confidential even after it's sent out. This is an official transcript if the seal is unbroken. So there's even further ways that help to protect the validity of our records. The schools must have written permission from the parent before they can release the information. There are some exceptions, and these exceptions are related not to individual students and their behavior or their grades or any kind of evaluation on an individual basis, but more for people who are conducting research, officials who are trying to gather information to help improve the school district, to design budgets, to try to correct systemic problems. You can see a list here. This isn't this isn't a full list of when the school can release records without without consent, but it covers quite a few of them. And you can see that except for complying with judicial orders, where it may actually be the student is in trouble with the law and a judge orders it, the rest of them have more to do with studying situations at school on a larger scale. Another one is directory information. Um, Schools may give directory information, so we all know what a phone book is, and so it's mostly due to that type of information. It also includes when and where a student was born and the dates of attendance at the school. And even this is protected because before the student or before the school may give out this information, the student or the student's parents must be given a notice and also have ample time to be able to opt out of the situation, so they can still choose not to have that information released, but it's just kind of a reverse situation where they have to opt out instead of them going to the school and asking for the information. So one more thing, or actually there's a couple more things I'd like to mention. First is be careful about what you share. It is good practice not to talk about any actions that result in information being added to the student's file. If you're talking to a fellow teacher and you come in and you talk about a student and something that was put on his file, something that he or she did, or even about the student's grades, then it is a violation of this. And so the best thing to do is just not to talk about any of this to anyone, including a fellow teacher, except within the context of our meetings when we get together to actually talk about the students and the types of things that we need to do to help the students succeed. Then it's good to be able to review the records together with the appropriate authority there, so that we can come to the best ways to teach the students. But as far as casual conversation, especially ones that are talking negatively about a student, we need to avoid this. And one more thing I need to mention is that once a student reaches 18 years of age, which happens a lot in the senior year, then all of this goes from the rights of the parents to the rights of the students. So once the student is 18, he or she has all of these rights, and we no longer have to have the written consent of the parent. We just need the written consent of the student. Hello, I'd just like to show there was some issues with my presentation, and I think it may have to do with some of the animations that I was trying to put on there, but I just wanted to show you. I just wanted to show you that the times when there were multiple screens for one slide, my presentation was not designed to be like that. You can see how every slide was just used one time, and I think that I think it's an issue with the presentation. I think it's an issue with the program always being updated, and there's a bug because I was unable to fix it.